The E25 goes on sale in a couple of days, and in today's video I wanted to share with you a couple of games and my thoughts on what the E25 is. Now we are in Prokhorovka from the North Spawn. This is the best case scenario for the matchmaker, and that is because we are in a game without any light tanks in it, which means if you know anything about the E25, the E25 is a light tank slash TD. It has camouflage values in excess of 50+% if you have the right equipment and skills matched up. For instance, I have the exhaust thing equipment that increases my camouflage value. This tank already has great camouflage value. Now you see me take up a very aggressive early position here, and this is not for the faint of heart because this is a pretty difficult position to play. You have to be wary of the enemy tanks spotting you from the middle of the map, as well as this Tornwagen, which could spot you out if he had enough skills or enough optic, maybe mechanic optic equipment. He could have spotted me out. I needed to be very careful where I am and when I am shooting. When I do shoot, I need to be sure that I am behind two bushes, not just one bush, because one bush would not be sufficient enough to conceal my position. I need to be behind at least two bushes just to be safe. If I needed to take a shot at anyone, for instance these guys here in the middle, I'm shooting at this VZ44-1 because I am shooting behind a bush and I am shooting behind the big tree that was in between me and that tank. But I wouldn't take the risk on trying to get a shot on that Centurion that was in the same position as that VZ44. This Centurion here, as you can see, I'm shooting. I could shoot him and I would be behind the bush, but if you want to be 100% certain of not being spotted, you want to shoot from behind at least two bushes. So if I'm going to shoot across the map and shoot at this Tiger 1 at the middle of the map, I could get away with it because technically I'm shooting behind a bush and behind a gigantic tree. Now just for a little bit of context here, to share with you guys the story about me playing this E25. This is actually my first time playing this tank. All these years this tank has been around, I've never played it, but I know a lot about the E25 because I played against it. I despise this tank. I hate it because it is so good. It is such an annoying cockroach of a tank, especially if it's being played by a good player, a player who knows how to use positions, who knows how to use camouflage to hide behind bushes to conceal his position. This tank is super annoying to play against. Now the reason why I don't play the E25 is not because it's annoying, but I have a kind of like a condition. Well, not a condition. I get a little bit woozy when I'm playing tanks that don't have a turret, where I have to sit with a locked turret. The moment I start traversing the tank in sniper mode, I get a little bit the woozy feeling in my head, and maybe kind of like I wouldn't say it's a migraine, but it's kind of like annoying feeling that I get. Maybe it's got something to do with vertigo because I don't like heights. I'm not too sure, but I don't play tank destroyers, so that is one of the reasons why I do not collect these kinds of tanks that do not have turrets, tanks that have a gun that is locked to a turret, because of this woozy feeling I get when I rotate the tank. When I hit the A or D button and turn the tank, I get this weird feeling that I'm not comfortable with, so I just completely avoid any kind of tank destroyers that have a fixed turret. So anyway, like I said, this is the perfect matchup for this tank. on the perfect map with no light tanks, this is when you can be the light tank. Now on the move, the E25 does not have the greatest camo, but its stock camo rating is already 25%, so that is already better than most medium tanks and heavy tanks, so you already have a significant advantage. Now I'm getting a great result here. As you can see, I'm already 1.4, 1.5k damage, 3000, 4000 spotting so far. I could have played this even more aggressive than this. I could have taken a bigger risk. I could have been doing more damage, or even doing more assisted damage, more spotting damage for myself. If I was more familiar with the tank, if I was more accustomed to the E25 gameplay, I bet I could have done a lot better. But I'm not too fussed about it. This is a fantastic game for a tank destroyer. I think in this game did 2000 plus damage and maybe 4000 of spotting. 2300 damage that I spot for myself, and wow, 5000 assisted damage. That is all the spotting damage that you can really ask for. Actually, it is really good spotting damage. And the next map that I have for you is in Karelia. Again, another great map for this tank. Now again, the E25 is a great tank, but it doesn't work in all kinds of conditions, especially in city maps. Obviously it's not going to be that good because you are relying on the camouflage rating of this tank. You are relying on stealth, concealment, and your fast firing gun. Now you can see in the equipment that I've chosen for this tank, I've decided to run double vents, optics, and the exhaust equipment. This tank, the gun is so good, you do not need anything to improve its firepower. With the stock reload time is already 2.88 seconds. The gun already aims at 1.44 seconds. Dispersion 0.29, stock moving dispersions 0.18. So there is not much you can do to improve the gun any further. Diminishing returns. There's no point if you put in a IRM, let's say, or a gun rammer, because it already reloads so fast. It's not going to improve it by much more. The reload time of this gun, 2.88 seconds. If you put in a rammer, it only reloads 10% better, which means the improvement would only bring it up to 2.6 seconds. So a 2.6 second reload versus a 2.88 second reload is not much of a difference, which is why you can completely forget about using a gun rammer. A gun rammer is more suitable for tanks like that reload in 10 seconds. A 10-second improvement means a 1 second reduction in reload. That is a lot of difference. A 9-second reload time and a 10-second reload time, that is a huge difference. But a 2.6 seconds to a 2.8 second reload time is not going to make much difference, which is why all the gun performance equipment I completely forgo. Instead, I use the vents to do that for me. With the vents and the vent directive, my reload time is already down to 2.6 seconds, so it's the same as running a rammer. On top of that, vents also help improve your aim time from 144 to 1.3 seconds. It improves your dispersion from 2.9 to 2.6, your moving dispersion from 0.18 to 0.17 seconds. So I prefer to do that. Make sure that I have the view range to spot for myself. The two vents already assures that my improvement in gun performance, view range, accuracy, stealth already covered with the vents and vent directive. The improved exhaust pipe helps improve my concealment, makes it over 50% concealment. I think this is close to 53-55%. and that is more than you can ask for. Over 50%. You are talking about basically an ELC even 90 kind of concealment, except you need to be stationary. As soon as you start moving, you will lose your camouflage bonuses, but as long as you're stationary and shooting your gun, it's okay. You still get 50+% concealment, which is why I can farm these guys here, the T20 and the tank destroyer, without them being able to spot me, even though I'm firing my gun and I'm sitting inside within their view range. They should be able to spot me, but they do not have their spotting capabilities is not overcoming my camouflage capability. So I have the advantage here. I can sit out in the open and this T20 cannot spot me. So another good game in Karelia. Obviously not every game turns out to be 2000 plus damage in the E25, but you get the point here. There are a lot of open maps, a lot of places where you can take advantage of the E25's speed and mobility, accurate gun, and its high concealment value. You can take this tank almost anywhere on the map and be sitting in the open and be completely invisible to the enemy, as well as shoot your gun every 2.6 seconds with 0.26 accuracy. Another easy game, 2.5k plus damage. Did not have a lot of assisted damage there because I did not spot anything, but you get my point here. This is a tank that you do want to have in your garage at some point in your World of Tanks career. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.